Hello everyone, my name's King, and today we are doing a fairly large tutorial. It's gonna be a group of tutorials on this castle here. Yeah, I went a bit overboard when it came to the whole example showcase thing. It actually doesn't use too many materials, and it is actually, despite how it looks, it is fairly easy to make. Castles are usually just in segments, and you just like put the segments together. It's not like you build the whole entire castle. So that's what I'm going to be doing. In the next couple weeks, I'm going to have different tutorials for different parts of the castle. Today being the towers and the walls over there. But before we get to that and get building and go over the palette and stuff, I want to showcase the castle I made. It took me forever to make, way longer than it probably should have, but I mean, I love how it turned out. I mean, look at this view. Hold on, let me get, I mean, look at this. Just, I love it. I love this like biome style too, and like the moat and stuff, and everything. I especially love this entrance. I don't know, I just really like this build. But yeah, you just come up here, and this is kind of like a defensive thing too, because anyone entering the castle has to be in this area where all the towers and stuff can easily see where you are. And also it's kind of just a unique feature. And then of course there's the drawbridge, which is at an angle, because I was smart and totally planned that. Then there's the gatehouse, and then as soon as you're in the gatehouse, you have a little stables, a wizard tower, the main keep and throne room, and then the walls and stuff, all of which, or most of which, have interiors and things, and like ways up to the walkway where you can easily like see through. It has little balconies where you can fire and stuff. It has, on the walls, it has these I forget what they're called, but they're in real castles too, where you like pour stuff down or shoot down below, and you can go across here, and it's all connected and stuff. I really like building this. Just all the small details involved, it just, I love it. I love it, I love it. And yeah, you can come up here too. And of course, I did not do like a second story, nor does the tower over there have any detail, but I did do the throne room, which is nice and simple. And of course, as usual, I'm not going to do tutorials on interior stuff. You can figure that out yourself, decorate it how you want. This is definitely bare bones, because it was getting to be about like 6 hours of building this, and I kind of gave up near the end. But yeah, I did manage to throw in some small details, like of course you can go in here, and then I forgot to put a door here. That's bad. But it's like a small little open area kind of thing. It's still up on the cliff, so it's semi-defensible, and you'll know if people are coming up the cliff. But it's a nice little thing. Nice little area you probably wouldn't have noticed unless I pointed it out to you. And just the overall layout of this thing, I love it. Just that looks great. But yeah, anyway, I'm getting distracted. Let's get to this stuff. So, the materials you're gonna need to use, stripped birch. It kind of is like just for foundation stuff or pillars and things. Ladders as well, because in a lot of the towers it'll be in the center, and that's what you climb up with a ladder. Then I actually use diorite, because in A Little Taste of Germ, the texture pack I'm using, diorite has this nice texture. It looks like stone brick, but it's white, and regular diorite looks like cobblestone, but white. So, you know, that looks great. It 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 really has that whitewashed thing that castles did actually have, like rich castles. To show that you're rich, you'd have like all the stuff stained white kind of thing, and it's nice and pretty. And I also use Prismarine, and thanks to 1.14, Prismarine has walls as well, so that kind of just helps make the points a bit pointier, and just gives it that kind of fantasy style thing where it's like nice and vibrant roofs. I was going to do purple because purple looks exactly the same, but it's purple. But purple doesn't have walls for some reason, so you know, gotta deal with what you have. And this also looks pretty good too. It's nice color. And of course we have spruce planks, half slabs, and trapdoors. These two are most important. This I think I use a little bit of, but this, very important for stuff like the drawbridge and smaller walkways and just like small functioning stuff. And of course we have fences, fence gates. We use the fences more often for like the bits at the top and some smaller things. Barrels is the main source of decoration. Barrels and hay blocks. And of course a lantern, just to help light stuff up, but also give it a small bit of a fantasy style, just whimsical feeling. Iron bars, which are used at the very tops for like the rope to hold the flag. And of course we have the flag colors. So any colors you want, make the flags however you want. One small thing, because I don't think we'll be covering the flags, but one small thing is to pick out a direction for the flags to flow, like which way the wind blows. And so all the flags kind of follow that general direction, even the bigger one. It just follows this way, which I think is northeast. The wind flows northeast for this. And of course we have stained glass, because if you don't have stained glass and giant windows, it doesn't count as fantasy. Then it's just a normal, realistic castle. So I have purple and pink, I think. Purple and magenta glass. And you could do any kind of pattern. I wasn't quite sure what to do, so I just did cross, because, I don't know, England, medieval stuff, I guess. But any kind of pattern would be great, and it'll be fine. But yeah, so to get into building the castle, for this episode we are doing the towers and walls, which is actually modular. And a lot of the castle is fairly modular, like all the towers have the same design, regardless if it has a roof on top or not. And like stuff like the keep, the main building, it also follows the same tower design. This follows same tower design, just like slightly different at the bottom to give it more height. The towers themselves follow similar designs and have like similar characteristics to them. And same thing with the walls. Like, say, even though this one's at an angle, I'm not going to show you how to build at an angle. It follows the exact same design. The only difference is instead of stairs, wherever there'd be a stair, you'd use a slab. That way, it kind of follows the same design, but stairs cannot really, like, they only have two directions to them, which is better than most blocks. But a half slab serves the same purpose. It's just a bit more blunt, but since it's at an angle, it's harder to like point out that it's being blunt and stuff. But yeah, so to build the walls, of course there is it all follows the same palette as before, but there's certain blocks you need. Diorite stairs and slabs, as well as a wall, or diorite walls, Of course, it doesn't have to be diorite. If you're not using this texture pack, you could use quartz or concrete or something, and then just switch out these walls for like spruce fences or something, or some kind of similar fences. And then of course you're going to need stripped birch, ladders, and then you're also going to need spruce slabs and trapdoors. Did I say spruce ladders? I can't remember. And then of course if you are to put a roof on top, which I'll do at the very end, you will need prismarine stairs, and slabs, as well as the wall and stuff. But yeah, first things first, the tower. So tower is pretty easy. You go 3 blocks, and then in 1 over 1, in 1 over 1, so it's 3 blocks, and just a nice and simple circle all the way around, like so. And then you bring this up as far as you want. I'm gonna go about that high, and then of course in the center you'll have the the birch stripped log with a ladder on one of the sides. It doesn't really matter which. And then of course you're going to need doorways, so they can be on any of the faces or all of the faces or none of the faces. No, you need at least one door, but they can be on any of the faces. And of course the wall doesn't have to be this short, it can be taller. This is just the main thing. This relationship between the wall and the tower, that's kind of important. Actually, no, not even that is important. The style for the wall is what's important. But the towers can be as tall as you want, walls as tall as you want, and then small stuff like these balconies and these arrow slits, those can be thrown in at any level. Just you decide where the floor is, and it will be based off of that. So I'm going to be right back while I put all this in, make a simple cylinder around this post here. Alrighty, so I just brought it up a little bit. It doesn't really matter the height. In fact, I could just bring it up a little bit higher if I wanted to. And of course at the bottom there, I left a 3-block tall gap for the doorway. That way we can put stairs and a door, like here. And of course, doorways don't have to be just at 90-degree angles. Say you have a diagonal wall or something, and you want a doorway that's at a diagonal here, like an easy way to get in. Or like the walls here, but you kind of have to get in here, you can't go around when building stuff. Just break these 3 blocks, of course place the flooring, and then put a slab. And there you go, nice diagonal doorway. On diagonal doorways, you don't need to put doors. On the 90-degree ones, it's up to personal preference. In fact, you could just leave it like that, just like a diagonal if you want, and don't put door. But I like putting a door there, it makes it feel more secure. But I don't like doing it on this, because then you have like 2 doors and it's confusing and stuff. But yeah. Now then, some small stuff. Let's see. Right, let's figure out how to put in this balcony here next. So I'm gonna just pick a place to put a floor in. I'll say here. This seems fine. I'm just gonna put it all the way around like so. There we go. And let's say there's a balcony right here. So just delete these 3 blocks and then come on the outside, put a slab here, then a stair and a stair, and then put walls like so. So it just kind of wraps it. And then a stair at the top there, kind of like you're going to put a door there, but don't put a door. And so on the inside, it's just a tiny little balcony. Extremely small, not like literally no room, it's just a 1 block balcony, but it's nice and secure, it's tiny, and it adds a little bit of detail to towers and stuff. It just makes a otherwise flat wall have a little bit of detail. That way you don't have to have a tower that is like really thick at the bottom and gets smaller as it goes up. You just have it straight up, but they're small little balconies. Usually they'd be, if it has a roof on the top, it'd be the last floor, but you can put it on any floor, really. Like, I do believe some of these, like this one has a balcony there and a balcony there. This one has no balcony because it's so short and it's like on the land, so instead I put an open area. This one, even though it is by the wall, and I do believe this is the ground floor, it also has a balcony just so you can overlook stuff. You can put balconies wherever you feel like it, or wherever you feel like it needs a little bit extra detail, or it needs an extra area for fighting purposes, or just like luxury. Like, say you have a really cool landscape out there, might as well put a balcony so you can enjoy it or whatever. Now, of course, there is also the alternate option for adding detail, which is a arrow slit, which is usually more defense purpose. It's just like a tiny little thing where you can poke your bow out and shoot at. And in order to do that, break 2 blocks as if you're going to put a window, and then take a stair, put one facing in that way, and then one facing in that way, and just like a tiny little gap. I prefer balconies over arrow slits because a balcony adds a little bit more depth and it's a bit more obvious. But arrow slits also have their purpose and do add a tiny bit of detail, so nothing wrong with that. Now then, let's say we want to end the tower, and this is the top of the tower right here. This is the end of it. Nothing beyond that point. This is the top. That's all the top is. We have 2 options for how we could finish the tower. We can either have an open tower, so people can stand up here and shoot out or watch over stuff, or you can look from down here and like, oh look, that's another tower. That wasn't there 10 seconds ago. Anyway, you could have an open area like that, or you can have a roof. And each one serves a different purpose. I prefer for the outer walls to have an open area, so people can have an observatory kind of thing, and like watch out over the thing. If it's the gatehouse, I tend to put closed roofs. And then any tower that is within the castle itself, I usually put a closed roof. But that is just my personal preference. You could do whatever. They both follow fairly similar style. So let's do an open roof first. Then I'll destroy the blocks from an open roof you don't need to have for a closed roof. And then we'll do a closed roof. So, open roof, which is similar to a closed roof. What you do is you place a stair here, 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 and there's a pattern to it. On the 3 blocks, you place them on the outer edge. On the 1 block, you place them both facing both ways, and then you just repeat that pattern. So again, on the 1 block, place on both. 3 block, place on the outer. 1 block, place on both. 3 block, place on the outer. And 1 block, place on both. Then, in the spaces you missed, put a slab. And this doesn't look like a circle, so also place a slab here, just so you can maintain some form of circular fashion around it. Like so. And then to give it what are they called? Battlements? Or, you know, the classic castle design of the ups and downs and stuffs. To do that, on the stairs, on these 3 block areas, you place a slab. And then on the slabs that otherwise shouldn't be there, you place one there too. So you place one in the corners and on the outside of the 3-block stuff. So it's like there's one with the block, one without, one with the block, one without, one with the block, one without, kind of thing, going all the way around the edge. And as such, you get this. Now, of course, on the inside, this is kind of restricting, and also it doesn't really stop you from falling off or whatever. So we are going to get rid of this inner one, the thing we placed everything on. And now we have this, but of course we have small holes here, which is kind of annoying. So you just have to put stairs, which is totally secure and safe and won't make the guards walk up it and fall off. Because that's how that works. But yeah, now we have a nice open area for you to walk through, and it has these small things you can shoot down, or say there's a wall there, you can shoot at your friends and pretend it wasn't you or something. And it just looks nice and dandy. And it's a nice little finish. Yeah, a nice little top for a tower. That could be as tall as you want, and it would totally make sense. And this is something I do just to finish it off. I put a torch or a lantern there, and it lights up pretty much the whole area. And you know, it's just, I don't know, I like it. It looks fun. But yeah, now I get to clean the inventory and then take out not the fence, take out the stuff needed for that kind of roof. And as such, I'm going to get rid of, oh no, I have 2 ladders. Okay, we can get rid of that, and then also get rid of these. Place these back. And now we are back to where we were before. We did all of, or we made it walkable. And of course I got rid of that block. Now that I think about it, you probably could have left it there if you want. But we are going to be building a cone. It's a simple cone, nothing major to it. If I'm hard to follow, you can find other tutorials on how to build a cone, and it'll be the same kind of design. And everything's fine. The only difference is I think I use a wall when most people use a fence or something, but I cannot confirm that. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, it literally just starts out with the same exact size and shape as the rest of the tower. There's nothing special to it, exactly the same. Then on the inner 3rd block, you place one here. Then on this corner block, you place one and go all the way around, skipping 1 block. And then on these corners, place one here, here, and all the way around. Then on these blocks you missed, you place stairs facing into the center, like so. And it's all nice and dandy, going all the way around. Oh, no, I already did that one. Then on these corners, place slabs. And then on this center block, place a stair facing inward. Now then, we are going to be placing full blocks on all the rest. And I forget where we go from here. Right, okay. On those full blocks, place stairs facing inward again. I know, there's a lot of stairs and slabs and stuff, and a lot of spinning around. Feel free to pause if you get lost and just look at what I've done so far, and it should help. Or rewind, put me in slow motion. I'll sound really dumb, but put me in slow motion and follow along. Then here, you place another full block to connect it up And of course also put full blocks in the corners. That way it's not an open area and there's actually like a block there. Now then, on this one, instead of putting a stair like on that level, you put slabs. I think it probably could be a stair and look fine, but I don't know. Slabs. And then of course on these corners, place that, but this time, connect it up. And now it's a square. And you're like, oh no, it shouldn't be like that, it should be a cone, why is it a square? Well, it makes perfect sense, because then we are going to go up in the center again, and now we have this, which could be like a pseudo circle, but it's more like a plus. And then here is personal preference. You could either have them facing this way, or have them facing this way. Both look perfectly fine. It's just whatever you feel like doing that time. And look, it's kind of like a circle. Whoa. And then now you go up a block, then cap it off, put 2 walls, a fence, an iron bar, and then of course the flag, whichever way you want the wind to be flowing. Just because I'm lazy, I'm gonna point it straight up. Maybe it's windy like that and it looks real dumb. Actually no, that was a bad idea. Dang, now I'm giving it thought. I'm gonna have it not so windy, so it's still kind of windy, but less so than it was there, so it's kind of an angle. Sure, yeah, that looks fine. So that is how you do the tower, if that's all you really wanted to know, and the rest of it seems perfectly fine, like that keep, easy peasy, I totally know how to do that. Then you can stop this video and never come back again. But if you want to see more, and that keep looks really cool, subscribe, ring the bell, haha, cheeky, in the middle of a tutorial, plugging my own stuff, how dare I. But next, we are going to do the wall. And of course, walls are usually connected by turrets, towers, but you could probably do it on its own too. I'm going to show you how to do it on its own. All you really need is the spruce, and then the diorite stuff, spruce, the birch, and the diorite stuff, and that's all you really need. And it's a nice modular design too. It's every 5 blocks. If you have a wall or you did not plan out correctly and the wall is not 5 blocks, you could just slightly alter the design like I did here. This tower, I put the tower first, but did not think about how far that wall is. So instead of 5 blocks, it's 3 blocks, and it's just like a tiny little arch. It's nice and pretty. This part, since it's a 1 block system, and it's always odd numbers, that part, it literally doesn't matter what the bottom part is, that part will look the same. Which is actually really handy when you screw up like that. But yeah, so, to do the wall, I am going to... Yeah, why not? I'll have it connected to this tower. So, just go here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 blocks. And then skip 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then put another thing. And then skip 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put another thing. And then keep doing that for infinity. And you have the Great Wall of China. But, next, I do believe... Or did I screw that up? I screwed that up. No. This should be... what? Huh? If it's connecting to a wall, it is... Or I recommend having it literally connect to the wall like so. It gives us, like, 2 blocks here, but that's perfectly fine. Right? Yeah, that's perfectly fine. That just means that you get rid of this door, which is also perfectly fine. Like I said, a lot of this is just trial and error and just going with the flow. That's kind of why all of this is modular and in pieces, and you can just throw it together, because castles are usually based around the land they are built on, believe it or not. They are usually built on a high area that is cliffed, And then around the cliff, they make a moat. And then the wall follows the shape of the cliff. Believe it or not. I know, it's very surprising. Castle building in a castle tutorial. What do you know? But yeah, so then there's this wall that goes all the way across, however long it is. And then I'm gonna use world edit because I'm lazy, and also to move the tutorial a bit faster than just cutting. And you would normally fill that all in by hand, but it's just a simple wall, just one small layer for everything to be built upon. And then of course right here, I do believe, no, huh, how did I do that? Oh right, these are not going to be seen, so you could use diorite like that, and then just a long border like that, and there you go, there's the wall. Yeah, perfectly fine. But next, I'm actually going to need that eventually. Next up, we are going to be putting every other block not on where the pillar is, in between. You're going to be putting a block like so, and then a stair facing this way in the other spot. And I mean, that doesn't look that safe. It looks like you could just fall right off. But that is the point. That is the things that you aim down, like so. And then just go up another block where it was a full block, like so. And then put it up, or right side up slab. So it's this nice little hole. And then of course on top of the full blocks, put some more slabs to give it that castle look. And you could also do one there if you want, but I mean, that's up to you. That specific one isn't very important. It just completes the look. So, I mean, it could be there, but at the same time, it probably doesn't need to be. And then on this inside, just to make it a full block, but instead of repeating the pattern, because, I mean, this is the inside, you don't need protection against your own friends, I'm just going to put a plank. Just a simple wooden plank kind of thing, just to make it a bit bigger, but it's less of a defense and more just like a luxury. And then of course, just alternate between half slabs and trapdoors just to give it a little bit of that castle look, while also just keeping it a nice small plank kind of thing. And doesn't matter if the trapdoor is in line with that or that, either one works. In fact, I do believe on some of these walls over here, I have it in line with that, and on other ones, if I can get over there, on other ones I have it in line with that, and you would have never noticed unless I told you. So I mean, sometimes inconsistency is more realistic than consistency. Word of the day. Anyway, next we are going to do small arches here to just finish off the detail and it'd be nice and done. So, block there, 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 just to create a simple arch. And then a slab, 2 slabs to give you a different texture, or you could just have that kind of thing. Or, you know, if you're not using Germsy Boy, whatever works. And then a slab, 2 slabs, slab, so it's a curve of half slabs. And then same here, just to repeat the design, and then this can be repeated for as long as you want. And then from here below, like these blocks where there is no design, that can be pushed down all the way to however tall the castle thing is. And of course, if you have nothing in the way, you could probably throw in some arrow slits if you want. Just up the wall, just some more arrow slits for some more defenses. That is also up to you. Arrow slits and balconies are literally just, you can do them anywhere. Anywhere you want to add just small bits of detail. It doesn't even have to be in the center, it could be like offset or something and be really annoying to people, but it's fine because it's your castle. But yeah, that is that. Nice and simple design for some walls and towers which are modular and can span the entire city. And of course, like I said, you could make the wall at an angle if you want. That just requires a bit more finagling on your end, but it's literally the exact same pattern. You just have to think, instead of like in one direction, you have to think of like 2 different directions and just tweak it and work with it and it'll look fine. And of course, you could throw in some more texturing in it, or throw vines and stuff, or make it out of completely different materials. All that is up to you. The flag could be facing the other way. You could have no flag if you want. Again, all up to you. But that is pretty much the end of the tutorial. So, my name's King. There was a black dot in the sun for a second. Subscribe if you haven't. Click the bell if you subscribe. And I have a Discord, check that out in the link in the description, as well as some cool people to check out as well. Some other YouTubers that I know, and they make cool stuff too. They are also in the description. And do all that, write, comment, like the video, and in the next coming weeks we'll do more stuff at the castle. So comment what you want next. Do you want the tower? Do you want the gatehouse and that small extra bit of the gatehouse, which is totally optional? You could also have like another cliff and it'll be fine. Do you want that very simple horse stable? Do you want the giant keep? That's just comment and I'll decide which one to do next. At the very end, I think we will take all of the tutorials and then show you how I go through the process of putting it together into a castle like so. But yeah, I've been King. Subscribe and stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.